Hi everybody, this is Esma. I go by Ozzy. This is something I need to get off of my chest because I've just been thinking about it for so long and it's eating me alive. So I think it's best to not only be aware that this is happening to me, but this is happening to people all around my age gap, and I feel like people just don't know about it. So I really do want to get the word out. Corporate discrimination, corporate firings, things like that nature, I think are very important because a job that's secure, that's very important to me. And I've been facing the same kind of treatment everywhere I go. Um, so let's just get this started. I'm not a name dropper, but I did work for this corporate company. It was a rental car business company named Sixt. It was for 6 months I worked there. Now, mind you, they were not very welcoming for me my first week there. Okay, and there's something that I really need to talk about because I cannot have this eat me alive. Something on my phone here. Hold on. Yeah, it's been eating me alive and I just have to get it off my chest. So day one, when I worked at Sixt, I was faced with all different types of strange things happening to me. First of all, my boss just hops into my car, my personal vehicle, and mind you, it's the rental car business. I'm not entirely sure why a superior is inside of my passenger side of my vehicle. This made me extremely uncomfortable. She just assumed, instead of that, it would be okay because of her shape, because of her size, because of the way she looks. But matter of fact, it's not okay. This is stranger danger to me. People just brushed it off like it was no big deal. I get it, that's the company culture, but this was beyond my comfort level. And they were, mind you, all of them as a group. I can name details, I can name scenarios, I can name different types of things that were happening to me on a day-to-day basis. They were just looking for drama, just coming out of nowhere. I was faced with a little bit of a domestic issue. It seems as if a third party of some sort there had access to me through a family member, and they did end up punching me in the face on my way to work. Luckily, I made it to work on time. Efforts were going unnoticed. Efforts were not, my efforts were not being acknowledged. And as a matter of fact, this, I got hurt really bad, physically, emotionally, and mentally by this company. First of all, they were not very welcoming. My very first day there, they were just body shaming me like crazy. On a day-to-day basis, I was just being criticized for things that were just outside of my job role, outside of my job description. It did not have anything to do with the job role whatsoever. These people were telling me. I think it's time I got the word out that, well, my employer, and I'm not going to name drop, my employer was a female, and she thought that in exchange for me going on my learning trips, my educational learning trips that I needed in order to improve my sales performance, my sales tactics, I had to sleep with her in exchange for my learning trips. She asked if I could see the inside of her hotel room, which I thought was a big no-no. I hardly knew her. I hardly met her. And she thought just because she had a good image that she was everybody's friend. But as a matter of fact, that's not reality. That's not real life. That's not the way things are. I tried to take a deep breath. I did fit in with the culture. I fit in with the company. As a matter of fact, this was just pure class discrimination based on my identity, where I came from, the type of class that I'm in. This was all purely favoritism. I mean, at some point I had somebody, a worker of mine, a coworker, come up to me and ask me, can you buy me an iPhone? It's like, hey, I mean, like, I'm at, at poverty level at this point from the number of times I have gotten let go from these jobs for no apparent reason. Mind you, I would be singing in my car on my way home to work. These people would know about it, find out about it, look at what I am doing outside of work. They would exploit me and publish my verbal analog, out there for the media to see, out there for the world to see, and call me crazy all you want. And this is true. this is actually based on a true story. I would not lie to you because I experienced this. The fact that my lyrics, I poured my heart and my soul into the things that I care about, the things that I love, the things that I actually want to make a difference about in this world. We could have done it together. I could have put it out on the world and we could have worked on it together. It seems like everybody just went their own selfish ways and just kind of did some sneaky stuff and did it behind my back. My employer was coming uncomfortably close to me, did not understand verbal cues, did not understand personal space. She's hovering over my shoulder. She's looking through my phone. She's telling me that my uniform doesn't fit and I should get a bigger one. She's telling me to lose weight on a day-to-day basis, but she's doing it with a smile, so it doesn't seem so harmless. I love the money there so much that I did not care about my personal safety. This woman was out to exploit me and underpay me and not compensate me properly. And in the end, these people, they took and they took and they took, and there was no giving. At the end of the day, I am very happy that I am in a safe place and I am with my family. This was pure master manipulation. I had this one coworker just look at me and he's just licking his lips. He's staring at me, staring me down, looking at me. Everyone was eyeing me like I was a piece of meat at that facility. And mind you, this is not something that a woman should do. Yes, I am single. Yes, I am independent. No, I don't need a man to make me happy because I am already happy. But the negativity, the animosity that I face on a day-to-day basis, and I can actually give examples. That was a big no-no for her to just climb into my car thinking, hey, we're friends. Like, I just met you and you're my boss. Do you see how inappropriate this is? I don't care if you're 6 feet tall. This is not okay. It's a stranger danger. These people did not know how to take it slow at all in terms of building relationships, they say your family when you walk in, and then the next thing you know, they stab you in the back, just like any other corporate America job. I think I'm doing a good job. At one point she tells me I'm the top performer. She lays her hands on me. I tell her, no, this is not okay. I push back and say, the number of times I had to reclaim my space from this girl was just out of this world. This was pure discomfort that I was facing on a day-to-day basis. And this has not just happened in one workplace. This has happened in many different workplaces. So I'm just giving the word out. Be careful. I cannot let anyone water my flower. I'm going to be extra super picky with who is going to water my flower, but that's a different topic for a different time, for a different day. But as of right now, I'm talking about professionalism, talking about how to run a business. I was in a manager trainee role right after, and the same thing happened. Similar thing happened, but over at Sixt, I felt so unloved. I felt so unwanted. I felt like everybody was ganging up on me. I felt like I was being taken advantage of. I think the thing that bothered me the most was that I had this punch out like work vibe going on. I had this grind going and they all just ruined it for me. The day that I lost all of my weight was the day that she let me go. I don't know if this is envy. I don't know if this is jealousy. Matter of fact, I don't see anything there is to be jealous about. I am not a mooch. I earn what I work hard for. And because I was the top performer and everybody just kept coming back to see me, that made me feel special. That's something that I got to take home with and smile to sleep with. But these people did not see that way. They brought me down like really bad. I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't feeling good enough. The constant pulling me off to the side, the constant, you're not doing good enough, or the nitpicking and the micromanaging with my work, the constant criticism, the humiliation, the embarrassment. And these people mind you, I get it, we're millennials, but you should not be seeing what I am doing once I punch out. My time is with you guys when I'm with you guys, but when I am not at work, I am a completely different person. Okay? No, my beauty standards are not the highest, but you are not. by any means going to tell me what to do with my body. Okay? That's just next level discrimination or fat shaming. I mean, like, yeah, I got a little stuff going on with my body, but I mean, you got to remember, it's just none of your business. The invasiveness, these people were just oversharing like things that I should not even know, that nobody should even know. Just telling people when they woke up, just telling people when they're about to shower, just telling people when they're about to brush their teeth. This, I mean, mind you, these people can hear everything. We're in an open space and they can hear. I wanted to mention a couple things that happened to me that I did not like. I did get my car vandalized on the very first day. Somebody just decided, hey, let's write on her car with a Sharpie. And this was my personal vehicle. This wasn't even their vehicle. The fact that they did that and they got away with it, and I took the blame for sticking up for myself after, being stomped on my whole life. And I think the worst part is that all of my former friends and colleagues and coworkers, they used my guilt as the only way out. And you gotta hear my perspective on this, because this is not just gibberish. This is something for you to all take, because I'm fed up. I am turning 30. I'm starting to think about kids. I want to grow a family. How the hell am I going to do that if I do not have a job in place? And I get it. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. Some of us are more difficult. It's more difficult for us to regulate it than others, but I'm not a punching bag. I'm not a doormat. I'm not a pushover. I'm a woman with rights that lives here in America, and I was born and raised in America. So for you to tell me what to do and when to stay longer, when to come in, when to anything, and mind you, I never got my trips. I never got my learning trips. I did want to mention something. And this is something you guys should absolutely never do in a workplace. And if you look at my Twitter page, at Esma Directs, you will find that how to really act in a workplace. I think work is so important. I don't know what I would be doing without a job. Basically, these people were asking me for money. At some point, it was somebody's birthday, and they asked for $25. I read the corporate page, the corporate rule page, and it says at no point at any given time should you accept gifts from anyone, from any stranger, any coworker, anyone. And these people just did it anyway because they just don't care. Okay, and they thought they were going to get away with it because they are young, because they are beautiful, because they're wearing that nice orange vest that they have to offer. Yeah, they were childish. It felt like high school. It did not feel like a real workplace, and it was just pure toxicity. Another thing I need to mention is please, just for the love of God, show up looking your best and doing your best, because some of those people did not have good hygiene, and I don't know what was going on. Just leave me out of it, please, because I need to get this word out, because this cannot keep happening when I jump from job to job. I'm seeing the repetitive mistakes. It's either taunting, lying, deceiving, manipulating, gaslighting tactics, these tactics that they're using against me to just help me forget about it. Mind you, I was in so much of a deep depression after I wasn't mad that I lost my coworkers, that I lost them. They weren't my real friends. I was mad that I loved the job, and I was a top performer, and they wanted me and they needed me, and just let me go because they chose their emotions and their feelings over the actual situation. Please, when you walk into a workplace, and this could be any workplace at all, do not let your feelings get in the way of work. Just don't do it. It is a very bad idea. You're there for money. You're there for nothing but to earn, to improve your brand, to improve yourself, to better yourself as a human being, as a person. And until today, I don't even think I'm perfect. I'm still trying to improve myself. I'm never going to stop learning. I'm never going to stop improving. But just, I think, like, I'm very, I think I'm very shocked and surprised by the amount of effort that they meticulously put to try to sabotage my life and career. They did it in such full detail that, I mean, the fact that they thought I was stupid and wasn't going to figure out how they stole my intellectual property theft, and the fact that they don't have their own imagination and their own creative intellect and they acted like they own me. Heck yeah, I want to be compensated back for all of those things that I worked on. What made you think I was going to let that slide? I am coming for you, okay? This is my work. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what I earned, okay? No, I'm not the prettiest girl. I don't have the highest beauty standards. I don't have the highest anything. And yeah, sometimes I do mouth off and talk my shit, but I will always say it to your face. We can always clear up any kind of situation, any kind of problem that you have with me. If it's that important to you, if I am bothering you in any way, if there's something that I am doing. And I played the game in all fairness. I pulled them off to the side of the room and I expressed my concerns. Hey, you're putting me down about my looks. You're putting me down about the effort of work I'm putting into the things that I love to do. You're following me outside of work. You're profiting off of my exploitations. I'm singing and dancing outside of work. Then I am singing and dancing outside of work. That is for me. That is not for you. That is not for the public. Okay? You might think I sound crazy, but this has been happening all my life. And I think it's time to just stop and reclaim my self-worth, don't you think? I've had mental analogs of music gotten stolen from. See, that's next level creepy shit. How the hell do you know what's on my mind right now? I've had written analogs stolen. I didn't even get a chance to write them down. That's how bad it is. That's how bad people wanted it for themselves. I didn't know you were a charity case. I am not a mind reader myself. I am not a creep myself. So how the hell should I know? I've had verbal analogs stolen from me. I'm actually singing it, and the next day I'm looking at the media, I'm looking at my phone, and voila, it's right there. That's the song that I just sang yesterday. This was next level stalking. This was next level invasiveness. This was next level. I'm the one putting my personal experiences into my heart and my soul, and you folks are seeing it as profitability for someone else. The fact that this employer avoided accountability, like, for her actions is what made things super worse. But she was slick about it. She was all sunshine and rainbows about it. When I truly thought something bad was going to happen to me the second she hopped into the passenger side of my vehicle. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. And then those friends that show up, 10 years after it's all said and done and I've moved on. I'm seeing old friends and familiar faces, and it's like, now I exist. I am traveling. I'm about to do this. I'm planning something big, and now I exist. Nobody really cares. I am the one that cares about me, and nobody's there for you at the end of the day but you. But my career, that comes first. You're not paying for any of this. I am paying for everything. And I have every right to. I'm single, I'm independent, I have all the right resources to be who I am, and don't take that away from me just because you're upset with who I am, or you're upset that I'm not convenient for you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not going to change what you do. I'm only here to be better, and self-improvement, that comes first for me. I want to brush all these things off to the side, but this is one thing that I just cannot let slide, and it's time that I just got the word out, and it stopped. This is my life. I'm not going to play with it. I'm thinking about my future at this point. And if this keeps happening and I keep letting it slide, what's left for me? It's stealing. This was next level robbery. Without my knowledge, without my consent, these people ate me alive. Like, I was the black sheep and these were the wolves. They were just eating at me alive, trying to suck away at my soul, trying to grab anything they can out of me, hovering over my shoulder. What is she writing? What is she doing? Heavily monitoring me. I would look at the training videos. I was looking at the corporate. I was looking up everything about Sixt. And once they fire you, you don't even have access. You don't have proof for all the emails, the text messages, the chats. You don't even have that anymore. So at the end of the day, I feel like I lost. Corporate America, you gotta take it easy, because I'm trying my best. And for a girl this has happened to over and over again, just know that I'm actually showing up. I'm actually, even after I got physically, literally punched in the face, I still showed up. The fact that you're asking me to buy you an iPhone and I just met you, and there is zero trust, and I wasn't welcomed on my first day, you gotta be out of your mind. Like, this was insane. I'm a female. I'm 29 years old. I don't even do this often, but this affected me, and it moved me so much to the point where I had to make this video. I can hardly breathe. I don't have an addiction problem. I don't have mental issues. I'm just surrounded by coercive control everywhere I go. Narcissism in every corner. Harassment in every corner. At the end of the day, I'm the bad guy. I have to be guilt-tripped. I looked up harassment, like the harassment post symptoms, and I fit all, like the description. It's scary. I looked up what is harassment, and everything she did, it just fit exactly everything she did. Constant belittlement on a day-to-day basis, doing things that just made me uncomfortable, people blowing hot, nasty, steamy breath in my face as they're training me. This was not the standard that I want to live in. This is not my preference, and you cannot ignore my preference. You cannot dismiss my concerns, because I am an employee and you are paying me, and I am the top performer, and I am trying to make you guys the #1 company, or whatever image you are trying to perceive. I am helping with that, and in return I get spit. No. You think, oh, she's already got it good. No. In fact, I have it just as worse. This is my scar. And you can hardly see it because I'm wearing makeup, but there it is. This is not the way a girl should be living. This is not like the way I should be feeling. And now I'm endless. I'm just looking for solutions. I'm looking for answers. I'm lost. I'm confused. I'm hurt. This can't keep happening because it's repetitive behavior. And it just makes for a bad resume. I have to get this word out. You call me a snitch. You call me whatever you want. But I'm not a liar. And I have nothing to hide. I just know that I'm done getting taken advantage of. And you just messed with the wrong girl. That's all it is. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to get the word out for the way I was treated. There's full detail. And I can get into it too if you'd like. But on a day-to-day basis, I felt wildly uncomfortable around my employer. Yes, if your employer is a female and you're a female too, vice versa, the opposite sex, it's still harassment. I don't care who they are, what they are, or anything. It's still harassment, and I did not deserve it. And it's something that just happened. So I'm just going to leave them to deal with their own mess. I got to deal with this mess now, because this was not just any company. This was a career. It was like $1 billion, million dollar industry. I have no right to be guilt tripped. I have no reason to feel guilty for any of my decisions. I'm not hurting anyone, at least I don't think so. And I don't know unless you tell me. So the lack of communication, the lack of effort, the lack of interconnectivity, the lack of everything, the lack of, the disregard for boundaries. I did not know that my address was a form of currency for you folks, but apparently it is. And now that I know that, I'm going to guard it with my life, and I'm going to be careful with who I trust next time. There's more to come. Enjoy your day.